Did you know that your human design chart, but also your astro chart, holds all the information about your past lifetimes? And sometimes we can even see that we have karmic or past life relationship with someone that we meet. And often we already feel it because there's this immediate connection. There is sometimes even an attraction and we don't really know where this is coming from. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can see what happened in your past lifetimes and how you can also see and recognize if you know someone from a past life. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Leandra. I'm a human design expert, but I also work in the holistic health field. And if you would like to have one-on-one guidance with me, get a reading with me, then you can check out all the links down below. And what you also will need for this video in order to understand better is that you need to download my free app Era, where you can calculate your human design chart. So follow along as we go in this video. And if you want to go extra on top, you need to download also an app or your astro chart so you can see and check that as well for even more detailed information. So let's get started with your human design chart, and you want to look at the so-called Southnode, which is the little horseshoe that points downward. So you will have one on the left side and you will have one on the right hand side, and the Southnode explains what your past life is about, or what are the energies that you're already bringing that you're very familiar with. That means that you might have learned that lesson over the past lifetimes, and that's your comfort zone now. That is what you feel familiar with, and that is what the skills and the talents that you already have and bring in this lifetime. And slowly we're moving into the Norhnode, which is the horseshoe that is complete opposite, and that is the direction that we're moving into in this life. And that is why these placements are so extra special and so extra important, because it really describes your journey that you're here to walk in this lifetime. And each of these Southnode will stand in a specific gate, which means that one of the gates in the body graph hold the information of your past lifetimes. And you can either ChatGPT it, or you can download at my membership where I have a guide on all the gates, or you can find the information what the gate holds any other platform or any other search. But you want to look at the specific meaning of the gate that the Southnode holds, because that really explains what are you already coming with, what are your skills, what are your talents. And if you meet someone who has the opposite side of the Southnode, meaning let's say you have gate 59 in your Southnode, the opposite side of the gate would be the 6. So if you meet someone who has the gate 6 activated in their chart, and specifically maybe even in the Southnode as well, you know that there is a past life connection here, because you have met in a past life before and you maybe fulfilled a greater purpose with each other. And again, you're meeting in this life because you're meant to fulfill this purpose again in this lifetime, or you meant to bring each other forward in this lifetime. And I actually can observe that in my life a lot. I meet a lot of people who have the opposite side of the gate, and I really can always feel this immediate connection with people, and I immediately know that there has been a past lifetime connection, and it really feels so familiar. It feels like you know this person forever already. So the Norhnode, on the other hand, is your future, is the people that will bring you forward, that you might meet again in new lives that you're going to enter into, and that help you on your growth journey. So if you meet people who are connecting with your Norhnode, means that they're the person or the people who are here to guide you into your future. And again, that you might meet in future lifetimes. So if we look at Chiron, on the other hand, and you only find that in very specific chart calculators, not all chart calculators have that, I will link one down below, you find a Chiron placement, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So it means that you bring old wounds or old challenges from past lifetimes here. And that means that everyone who's connecting with your Chiron is a person that triggers this old wound in order for you to now heal this wound in this lifetime and to move and progress forward. So sometimes these connections that you have might be a little bit triggering when you meet someone who activates you in that regard, but they're really important, these connections, so you can heal your wound. Because Chiron is really here that you look a little bit deeper within yourself, and maybe this wound has gone on for many past lifetimes, and you are here now in this lifetime to have a deeper look at it and really see what still needs to be healed, what still needs to be released from me, in order so I can use these gifts and talents that come out of that healing in order to use them and utilize them for healing other people as well, or for helping in the world. So a Chiron placement is actually super important, and it tells a lot about past life challenges, but also about the challenges that we might still face in this lifetime, specifically earlier in this lifetime. And then if you also want to go even a bit deeper, you can look into your astro chart, and again you want to find your South Node placement, and you want to look in which house the South Node is found in. And I usually work with whole sign house system. However, if any other system works better for you, just trust yourself in that. However, if you look in the whole sign house placement, you want to check out the South Node placement. And each of the houses holds a specific life area or a specific energy. And if you understand in which life area that was, you can even look a little bit deeper and see maybe what kind of job did you had, or what was the focus in your past lifetimes. Because again, here the South Node has the same symbolization. So have a look at your astro chart, localize the houses, and I will go through and guide you through all the different houses and what that could have meant for you. So if you have your South Node in the first house, it means that you were very self-focused. It was about individuality. It was about realizing yourself in your past lifetimes. So you might have a life as a leader, or maybe in solitude somewhere, or just fulfilling really your own needs and endeavors. So in this lifetime, you're here to learn how to deal with relationship, or how to go into relationship. So basically, that is the journey of your life. If your South Node is in the second house, it is all about self-worth, it is all about financial endeavors. So you probably had a very stable financial situation in past lifetimes. You were maybe a finance accountant, or someone who values stability and more materialistic endeavors in your past lifetimes. So this lifetime, you're here to learn a little bit more of the non-material world, but also a little bit more about shared resources, shared assets, a very spiritual endeavor. So you go from materialistic into more spiritual endeavors. If you have your South Node in the third house, it is all about your neighborhood. It's about connecting with others, but also about mental endeavors. So you were probably someone like a teacher, or a philosopher, or any sort of that nature, a writer who was connected with knowledge, with teaching, any sort of that nature. And now this lifetime, you are here to share that with the world. You're here to go from more internalizing it to externalizing, traveling, learning about different cultures, going out there, sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom with others. Whereas if you have your South Node in the fourth house, your past is all about family. It is all about your heritage. It is very rooted and grounded energy. So you might have been a housewife or houseman, or you have taken care of your family in any sort of that nature, or very deep family bonds, or that was a focus in your life. So therefore, in this lifetime, you're here to fulfill your own personal career endeavors. You're here to go out and share your knowledge in your job scenario. So really being very driven in a professional space. If you have your South Node in the fifth house, you were someone who was very creative probably, or very joy-driven, very experimental, trial and erroring their way through, very much a person who loves to live and loves all the nice things in life, and maybe also working in that field as a creative. So this lifetime, it is all here about coming and bringing that into community. So about friendship, about connecting with others, about being of service for other people, and not only living for yourself in pleasure, but also sharing that with community, or sharing that with others others and the world. If you have your South Node in your 6th house, this is all about routine, this is everyday life, this is about structure. So you have probably mastered in past lifetimes everything when it comes to having a very solid routine, getting your things done, or maybe having a very strict work routine and life. So this lifetime, it is about really bringing that into spirituality, or bringing that more into solitude or into mental construct. So maybe you might come from everyday materialistic endeavors to going more into spiritual endeavors, and to needing also a little bit more solitude the older you get. Whereas you have, now we're turning around, as you can see, where you have your South Node in the 7th house, you come from relationship. You were probably in past lifetimes very much indulged in partnership, or in a marriage, or that was kind of the focus of your lifetimes. And now this lifetime is all about finding your individuality again, and not being trapped up only in relationship, but finding your own path, fulfilling your own needs. So coming from collective energy into more individual energy. If you have your South Node in the 8th house, it was all about shared assets, shared resources, but also the depth of human psyche, or about spiritual endeavors. So you might have been a psychic, or someone who is indulged in shared assets and shared resources with someone. And this lifetime, you're here to find your material wealth. You are here to tap more into the material things of sight, into the material plane, and really get things straight and get things into physical action. If you have your South Node in the 9th house, that means that you are someone who is traveling a lot maybe, or a teacher, or out and about a lot, maybe a philosopher. And this lifetime, you're here to internalize that again. So you are here to walk the path of going more into your own studies, and maybe sharing that more with your neighbors or your family, or whoever is more close to you, less than being out and about so much. If you have your South Node in the 10th house, that means that you were someone who was very work driven, very dedicated about their work. And that was a focus in your past lifetimes. And in this lifetime, you are here to focus a little bit more on your family, or more on your home side. So you might go from being very external more to internal worlds, and more to taking care of someone close to you. So if you have your South Node in the 11th house, you might come from having very close friendships, or people around you being very important, maybe being also public in the public space, maybe a famous person, any sort of that nature. And you're here in this lifetime to really come to find your own creativity, and to live a very joyful life that is focused on your own joyful needs. So you might still follow creative endeavors, maybe be a DJ, or any sort of that nature, and be a person who really enjoys life and finds joy in life. If you have your South Node in the 12th house, you come from more solitude. You maybe were a healer, or a witch. So my South Node is in the 12th house, and I found out in many past life regressions that I've always been a healer, and that wasn't able to live their skills, was more in secluded, maybe more in solitude. So in this lifetime, you're here to bring that into actual physical world, or into the everyday life. So which definitely happens for me, working in doing YouTube videos, or working in some yoga studios, or giving one-on-one human design readings. So putting all the spiritual knowledge, all the healing knowledge into actual matter, or into the material plane, and into everyday life, into the work life, working with it. So that is the path you are here to go. And obviously we could go much, much, much deeper, see what planets or signs you have there, but that would expand too much in this video. But if you're interested, I have explanations of astrology, so you can understand the houses a little bit better, and also the signs that you have there. So check out that video as well. And if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. And I hope this helped you get a little bit of an understanding what your past life could be. And if you want to join my membership to find out your purpose in this lifetime, this is very much specific about purpose. So join my membership here and find out your purpose in this lifetime. So with that being said, sending you so much love, and I hope I see you next time.